If you're thinking about selling your condo in Orlando, especially because a major life event like marriage, this video may save you months of headache, okay? In this video, I share how I helped a long-term friend not only sell her condo after 2 failed contracts and 4 months of delay for full price. My name is Deontay Lawrence, here in the most magical place on the planet, Orlando, Florida. Been recognized by real producers at top 35 under 35 agents here in Orlando, as well as helping 100+ families buy and sell their home. And this is how you can sell your condo. Oh, I like it. Here's what you may not realize as a condo owner. It's the fact that most buyers can't even get a loan to purchase your condo. Condos come with their own unique challenges, and especially if your HOA is not spot on, it can kill deals, okay? And in this story, you'll find out it almost killed our deal twice, okay? So if you're looking to sell your condo, I have a free seller's guide in the description below that literally goes over strategies on pricing, the psychology of buyers, and how you can make sure your home is perfect to show. So when you do go on the market, you can avoid your deals potentially being killed because of things like this. So with this particular seller, like I said, is a friend that I've known for a while, and she messaged me on Facebook like, hey Deontay, I'm looking to sell my condo, like I mentioned before, getting married, and just wanted to get the process started, them moving in and then finding their home together forever. So of course I get that message. I'm super psyched because my business is primarily built off of referrals, so it really feels good, admittedly so, that people trust you and reach out to you for handling such a major thing. So went to her house, took a look at it, and very good condition. So there wasn't much we had to do in regards to repairs, but like I mentioned before, with condos we had to go over the fact that they are a little bit difficult in regards to the financing aspect of things and everything like that. But luckily this particular condo's HOA was spot on, so we didn't foresee any potential problems with financing, because actually 6 months prior there was a number of units that actually were financed, so we were feeling good about that fact. Now, condos are still very unique in regards to selling, so the strategy that we put in place was, hey, we are going to list slightly below market value so we can create that bidding war and we can have a pool of buyers to select from, so we can ultimately raise the price and go above market value for this property. So making sure we're avoiding kind of the pitfalls that some condos face that you see on Zillow, I'm sure, that have been sitting on the market for years and years and years. So we put that plan in place. Like I said, her home was in great condition, and right away we got offers, 3 offers in fact, and I'm gonna go through them. Okay, so the first offer that we got in worked like a charm. Okay, so we got hung up though with different little things the buyer wanted to put into the contract. So when you go under contract, you ideally want that contract as smooth and clean as possible. This buyer was putting in little addendums with broad wording and things like that would have just made the contract a little too sticky, and ultimately me and the seller agreed that this was too much gray area, and ideally we want to go under contract and close and not get hung up and bait and switch, for lack of better terms. So ultimately with that first offer, even though it hit the strategy right on point, we decided to go ahead and go with another strategy. Okay, so the second offer, came in, boom, perfect. So we're going under contract, financing, checked out, we're excited. Okay, now the hang up. Okay, so we'll go into these things a little bit further in later videos, but the main things you're going to want to know about condos that can hold up financing is something called a condo questionnaire and a master policy. All right, so with this particular HOA, they were going into a transition with their master policy, and that's what we were waiting on for the financing portion of this. So if you remember, in the beginning of the video I talked about 4 months. This is a contract that held up for 4 months. So to speed along the story, the first lender who said, hey, we just need the new master policy, that wasn't all that they needed. So by the time we got the new master policy, that lender went ghost. I still haven't heard from this lender to this day. Haven't heard from them to this day. So we switched lenders, okay? So come to find out, the buyer had some things that they did not even disclose to their listing agent. And, you know, my seller's like, hey, we're gonna give them a shot, give them grace. We'll let them get these things in order so we can ultimately close. 4 extensions later, we are still under contract and not closed 4 months later, which is extremely stressful because, like I said, she's prepping for her marriage. She's trying to get this home sold. She wants to move in with her fiance. So ultimately, we had to cancel that contract, and we got into a dispute in regards to the escrow money because of this situation. But it was scary going back on the market because we had 4 months off. So we didn't know if those buyers were still going to be there. But luckily we did. So we had 2 strong offers that came in. Okay. One was cash and one was another financing. Okay. So the cash one was slightly below, but the seller was like, listen, it's cash. I don't have to worry about these financing things and I can move on. The financing one, right? It was higher. At list price, full price. And the reason why she ultimately elected to go with this one is because it was a bank that had closed in the neighborhood before. Okay, so I grilled this lender to make sure we're going to be good because I was like, listen, we cannot go back on the market. This is the 3rd offer that we've gone under contract with, and we're just tired. So this lender, shout out to her, was spot on, literally grilling the HOA every single day, and we ultimately got the condo closed 4 months after our initial offer got accepted. Listen, if you're even thinking about selling your condo, check the description below. I have my free seller's guide that is literally gonna lay out and take that, you know, anxiety out and make sure you're ready to get your condo sold like we just did for my past client. And listen, if you're interested to see how we were able to make sure to help a family move out of state and sell their home at the same time in less than 2 months, you're going to want to check out this next video.